Hello and welcome to another automation challenge. Today, well, for the next week or so, you'll be building and sending me 1988 or earlier, I suppose, supercars. With a bit of a twist, I suppose. The goal is to sort of make a very fast, very stylish, basically the opposite of this monstrosity that I've thrown together as an example. Sort of supercar, or sort of just fast and expensive car, really. I'll accept shooting brakes, super saloons, if you want to go Lotus Carlton or something on this. Or indeed anything else you want to try. Corvettes, sort of front-engined, big lazy muscle cars, all that's allowed. Basically, it's just expensive and fast and prestigious. But the twist is, in BeamNG, we're not going to be testing lap times. What I'm going to do is put 3 litres of fuel in this and see how far it can go in 3 minutes around a sort of course, so basically how many laps. Or rather, my test driver will be, because I'm not driving these cars anymore. We're getting someone competent in on this. But yeah, I'll show that off later. Let's go through the rules. So, first of all, we've got a standard naming system. Just name your car 88SC, and then your username there. That just keeps everything nice and sorted. I can see what it is. And then trim should be what the car is called. Same then for the engine and for the variant. Again, just name that the engine. Or the engine's called, yeah. So, start off with the engine rules, I suppose. Engine 1988 or older. And there's not a lot of engine rules. The only other two are engineering time has to be below 150. No limit on production units, because, well, these are going to be very low production cars. So I'm happy for them to be expensive to build. But yeah, limit the engineering time. And also, they have a maximum emissions of 1,300 on the engine, not on the trim, just on the engine. This gives you a few options, I think. I don't like just saying put a catalytic converter on it and use unleaded fuel. I think that's a bit boring. There's no limit on what you want to use. If you want to use regular for some reason, you can. I expect to see a lot, but you can get away without a catalytic converter if you want to try that. Not sure if you want to go down the naturally aspirated route. It might be better. I think for turbo engines, it's a bit easier to go with catalytic converters. But yeah, that's just sort of a bit of design choice. Everything else is free to do what you want. So hoping I get a nice bit of variety by having such open rules. Or I might just get a bunch of racing car engines. We'll see. Then for the car rules, again, 1988 or older. For the trim at least. Model can be whenever. And yeah, just there. Engineering time again, 150 for maximum engineering time. The comfort must be above 20. So it's not too hard to get, but I want these to sort of be slightly luxurious, not like total hardcore track cars. 20 I think is still enough to give it sort of sportier things, but don't know if that's maybe a bit too low, but I'm going to go for it anyway. I don't want it to sort of have to make people compromise their cars and make them undrivable in BeamNG just because they need to make them comfortable. There's a minimum safety of 30. Just again, just so that you don't go none and then minus 15 on safety to save some weight. Minimum of 2 seats. Again, just no track cars. You can have more if you want, but no less than 2 seats. And minimum reliability of 47. I've got 48 in the rules. I need to change that. There we go. Yeah, updating the rules on the fly. I'm a professional. So, yeah, let's get on to scoring. So, as I said already, I'm judging the cars based on the distance they travel. 3 litres of fuel, 3 minutes to go as far as they can around this course. It's lots of hairpins and straight lines, so good braking and good acceleration with some decent top end will probably do you well. It's not too bumpy. I want it to be an easy to drive track, so I suppose you don't need to worry too much about the way your car handles. From the testing I've done with this car, I think that's a good compromise. 3 litres of fuel, 3 minutes to drive, and these cars won't be driven efficiently at all. So the efficiency line, literally just, it's all up here that you really need to think about. So even though my car looks quite efficient here, we're never going to be driving at that sort of RPM. It's all going to be changing up through here. So yeah, you probably want to aim for high-end efficiency if you can. So yeah, I'm judging the cars also on how they drive. They'll be given a score out of 10, and I'm applying some multipliers to each of these now. I'm testing a new scoring system. I'll sort of go over that after this, and I'll show that all off. Points for sportiness and prestige, and also then there's points for top speed. I think this does 188 or something. Yeah, I'm really on theme here with the 88 thing. Yeah, so points for top speed, sportiness, prestige, how the car drives, the distance it can travel, and also styling is the final scoring point. So yeah, make something that looks nice and fits the era, make it look like it's from the 80s, but also, or the late 80s I should say, but also something that looks fast, looks expensive, looks like it is worth the money, but I'm not limiting body type still, so it could be bigger GT car, could be a super saloon, Lotus Carlton style. Just, yeah, I mean, you could probably say the GMC Cyclone is sort of a supercar of the time. So if you want to try and do something like that, I'll totally accept it. Not sure how easy that's going to be to make it look expensive, but I think I failed here, so I don't know how it'll go. But yeah, hoping there's a good amount of variety available, but I'll have to see. Hopefully I don't just get a bunch of NSX bodies, but I might do. Oh well, that'll be my problem. Anyway, yeah, let's go to BeamNG now. So here we are in BeamNG, and that's interesting. Just noticed the HUD on the left there doesn't really work. Yeah, that's odd. Anyway, yeah. So this is the course. It's basically, if you go into the Time Trials West Coast USA highway intersection, I think the track is called. Basically, it's a highway loop. I'm going to be doing this in free roam. Well, my test driver will be in free roam. Just so that we can put 3 litres of fuel into the car, and yeah, we'll essentially just do laps of this until either the timer runs out, or the car runs out of fuel. I expect to see sort of a 2-minute 20-ish sort of lap time, probably a bit quicker actually, with some of the cars like 210. Maybe someone will make something high downforce, we'll see something even quicker. I really don't know, but yeah, just sort of yeah, around these hairpins. It's essentially just sort of slow speeds, not too bumpy. It's all relatively smooth. It's just sort of going around some of the hairpins to take a tighter line. You go over the bumps, and yeah, yeah, there's like a sort of long loop here, so I suppose potentially having some high-speed grip can help, since like the straights aren't really long enough for like top end, but you've still got to think about your top speed stat, so you can't have too much drag and downforce. And yeah, around those corners, and there's just a nice long straight, and you'll probably see me start to hesitate here. This bit is a bit tricky in this car, especially coming into the tunnel, and There's a nice echo as you sort of go into tunnels and things under overpasses. Yeah, coming around here, this car feels quite sketchy. Problem with BeamNG is you can't really feel what the car is doing through force feedback. It feels way too light. And yeah, also wasn't paying too much attention to the road ahead and almost went into that guardrail. That's caught me out far too many times, considering it really shouldn't. And yeah, go right there to get off the dirt as quickly as possible. And the car runs out right about now. Anything, and there you go. So it runs out of fuel, and as you can see the timer at the top with like 10 seconds remaining. So yeah, that's sort of the track and everything. I've just noticed that I put the wrong plate on the back. It's white, it should be yellow. That's bad. Anyway, the deadline for this competition is the 25th, I think. Sunday. I'll put like the specific details. Yeah, Sunday 25th, probably about 5 PM. Are we still on British summer times, or is it GMT now? I'll have to double check that. But look, whatever time zone we're in, stupid daylight savings, I'll put that in the rules, which you can find in the description. And thank you for taking part. So just quickly before we go, just want to show off how the scoring system actually works properly. It's easier to show it than explain it. Yeah, I've got this nice and fancy scoring system, and I've just put some numbers in from my car and sort of some rough guesses of how I'm judging. So essentially each stat is given a multiplier and then added onto here. I need to sort of refine it slightly, so a couple of things might change a bit if I feel like one stat is a bit too overpowered or underpowered or something. But essentially it takes the raw stats and then just turns it into a number. I'm hoping this works out. This is sort of a trial challenge for it, which is sort of why it's a bit more simple, I suppose, compared to some of the other ones. I'm hoping it's still fun though. And yeah, this will just be nice and plug and play, so I can just swap out numbers and stats and things and just put it in how I want. It's easy enough to swap things around. I don't need to do too much. And if I want to change something, for example, I can just do a minor modification to it. And it should hopefully help me save a lot of time with challenges. But you can see sort of, so sportiness has a 1 times multiplier, giving a total, so it's literally just adding 44.1 onto here. The final score is rounded, I think it's rounded up, yeah, so it's rounded to the next full number. And that's essentially how it's done. Prestige, you can see 0.9 multiplier. I'm not sure how balanced that is. I think it's easier to get prestige than it is to get sportiness, so I'm hoping that's all balanced. I would like to see your opinions of this in the comments, but hopefully you've enjoyed this. Subscribe to Boost and Ethanol for more content like this and more challenges, and hopefully I'll start rolling out these soon. I'm going to do 5 cars a week is the planned format, so it might take the same amount of time, but you'll get more content from it. Should be less time spent waiting. At least that's the plan, but we'll see. So yeah, there we go. Goodbye.